everything New Orleans Pelicans from a fan's perspective. 27 points, 5 rebounds. Welcome to Pelicans Flock Report, where I give you everything New Orleans Pelicans from a fan's perspective. I'm your host, D. Broussard. First things first, man. Like always, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, the all-new Pelicans Flock Report. Shout out to everybody that's already subscribed, man. I really appreciate y'all. And as long as y'all keep subscribing, I'm going to keep on dropping this content. Can the Pelicans finally fix their center problem? Now, obviously, the center position is a huge problem for the New Orleans Pelicans right now. The Pelicans did not select a center in this past NBA draft. They decided to go with a guard, Jaron Pierre Jr., in which, like I said in the last episode, I'm not really disappointed in the selection because I feel like Jaron is definitely going to be a good pro. I feel like he's definitely going to be a good addition to this Pelicans team. But I still feel like we need to fill this front court on the team because this is a very important position that we need. And I feel like if we have a center with size that can rebound and protect the rim, it's definitely going to make us a much better basketball team. So we have to figure this problem out. What the Pelicans plan on doing to figure this problem out, I'm not 100% sure. Of course, there's just a lot of question marks right now around the organization. But I definitely feel like Joe Dumars, Charles Weaver, I think they're going to get it right. I've always said I have a lot of confidence in this front office, man. So I'm just watching like everybody else, trying to see, what's going to happen. Now, obviously, this past week, we picked up the third-year option on a guy that I really, really like, and I've always spoke highly about even during the season, and that's Carlo Makovic. I feel like Carlo Makovic has been developing really well over the last few seasons, and I feel like as long as he continues to develop, I think he's going to be a really good NBA player. But the thing about it is with Carlo is not actually a center. He does play the center at times, but I don't feel like Carlo Makovic is a true center. I think he's more of a stretch four. He's very athletic. He can space the floor, shoot the three. So Carlo is not a center. I don't feel like he's going to solve the problem. But I am excited about the fact that Carlo is going to be back for another season with the Pelicans. Now, obviously, we have a decision to make on this guy, Deandre Jordan. Deandre signed a one-year deal last season with us, and he's going to be a free agent this season. Now, obviously, it was a lot of high praise for Deandre Jordan last season. I think he won Teammate of the Year as an NBA award. And, a lot of high praise for him and the job that he was able to do with Derek Queen, leading the team, motivating the team. So he definitely was a huge he was definitely a good teammate last year, man, because he won the award for, good teammates. So I don't know what the Pelicans plan on doing about bringing DeAndre Jordan back, but, he's still a possibility, and it's still a possibility that they may bring him back. Now, obviously, another guy is Kevon Looney. Man, I got to pause for a second. Man, I was so high on Kevon Looney uh, when we signed him last offseason. I felt like Kevon was going to help this team out a whole lot. Now, obviously, when Kevon Looney was brought in, Willie Green was still the coach. And I just feel like Kevon Looney was dealt a bad hand, man. I feel like, Willie Green was supposed to be the coach. He ended up getting fired. And, of course, James Borrego took over the team. James Borrego liking to run a fast-paced style offense. Kevon, of course, not really being the most fastest guy on the basketball court. He found himself at the end of the bench, and he just never played a role for this team throughout the entire season last season. But I was always a huge advocate for Kevon because I feel like Kevon, can do a good job rim protecting and rebounding. He has size. So I feel like he definitely could have helped the team out a lot last season, but under James Borrego, he did not really play a whole lot. So right now, as it stands, I'm really feeling like the Pelicans are probably going to decline his second year option on his contract to free up some cap space. I don't think Kevon is going to be back. Um, but I'm just this is just my opinion. You know, Kevon may be back. I highly doubt it though, but you know, um, Kevon was a guy, man, I was really high on, man. And it was disappointing to me that Kevon wasn't able to find his way into the rotation and play a lot more for us last season, man. But like I said, they're probably gonna decline, Kevon Looney's uh second year option to free up some cap space to possibly bring in another guy, and which brings me to the 2026 free agents this offseason. Now, there are a lot of free agent centers. I kind of went through and picked a couple guys who I thought would possibly be good fits for our team if we decide to go after these guys. But the thing is, a lot of these guys are gonna want to get paid, in which, like I said, if we, turn down Kevon Looney's option, it's still not gonna leave us that much money on the table to spend. We would only have maybe about 10 million, in cap space if we decide not to bring back DeAndre Jordan and also decline Kevon Looney's player option. It would only leave us somewhere around 10 million in cap space to bring in another guy. So um, I feel like that's gonna be tough. I feel like if you're gonna create more cap space, you're gonna have to try to trade away some assets and free up some cap space to try to bring in a good center. Um, Now, of course, you have guys like Jackson Hayes, who may be a free agent center that we could possibly bring back to the New Orleans Pelicans. But I feel like Jackson is a good rebounder at times. He can be a good rim protector. He's very athletic. Obviously, we drafted Jackson, um, you know, as a Pelican, and then we traded him away to the Lakers. I definitely feel like he could possibly be a good option for us. Also, you have Yusuf Nurkic, who played for the Utah Jazz this past season. Now, Yukov Nurkic was a very good rebounder this past season. I would know because I picked Yukov Nurkic a couple of times on prize picks, you know, in my lineup. And I won a couple times, picking Nurkic to um, have more than 10 rebounds. And, you know, he did. So he had a good rebounding year last season. So I feel like that definitely would be a good pickup for us if we could possibly lower a guy like Yukub Nurkic to the Pelicans. He's a veteran guy. He still has a lot in the tank, and I feel like he definitely could fill that rebounding void that we have currently. Also, another guy who's been spoken about a lot is Mitchell Robinson. Of course, Mitchell Robinson being from Chalmette, you know, Orleans area guy, you know, would he want to come back home and play for the Pelicans? It's a lot of talk right now surrounding his contract with the New York Knicks, obviously coming off a championship year. It's being said right now that it could be a possibility that the New York Knicks may not re-sign Mitchell Robinson. Now, this is just rumors and reports, but if that were to happen, would he be interested in coming back home uh, to play for the Pelicans? And would he be willing to take the amount of money that the Pelicans have to offer currently? That's without making a trade. Um, I don't really know. I don't think so. I really think that he could possibly get more money going elsewhere, but who's to say? I don't know. Now, also, it's a lot of rumors and reports going on about Jaden Duran and the Detroit Pistons. Jaden Duran is currently going to be a free agent. It's a lot of talk about the Pistons not really trying to meet his expectations with the contract. Um, but I honestly think that Detroit is going to figure this one out. They trade away Isaiah Stewart to the Memphis Grizzlies. Isaiah was a huge part of their success last season. Also, Jaden Duran was a huge part of their success this past season. And I think that was the main reason why they decided to move on from Isaiah Stewart, was to create cap space to be able to sign Jaden Duran. So I think Detroit is going to figure this one out, man. I highly doubt they're going to let this kid slip away and go somewhere else. That would probably be one of the dumbest things they could do. So I don't really see Jaden Duran being available on that note. Now, if he were available, it's a lot of talk about the Pelicans possibly trying to make a trade with the Detroit Pistons to bring Jaden Duran to New Orleans. Um, but like I said, man, I highly doubt that's gonna happen, man. Detroit Pistons are gonna re-sign this guy, man. It would be good to bring him in as a Pelican. I'm gonna be honest, but I just don't see that happening, man. And also another guy is Robert Williams III. Robert Williams, Louisiana product, played really well for the Portland Trail Blazers this past season, especially during their playoff run. He played some good basketball. Now, Robert would possibly be a guy that we could probably bring in and offer him the amount of money that we have. And he may be open to taking a contract like that if he's not offered uh, by any other team, But Robert is also a guy who I feel like the Portland Trail Blazers are possibly going to try to re-sign him and, offer him some good money to keep him because he was a very important piece to their success last season. But like I said, if they weren't, maybe, I don't know what his market is, but I think he would possibly be a guy that would maybe accept the money that the Pelicans would have to offer. And, he's a guy that's a good rim protector, a good rebounder as well. And I feel like he definitely would, help the Pelicans a lot, especially when it comes to still being able to create space on offense and also fill that void that we have with the rebounding and the rim protection. So these are just guys that I personally selected that I feel would possibly uh, be good candidates to bring in to fill that front court void. But who's to say? I don't really know what's gonna happen in that regard. But we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. Obviously, it's still a lot of question marks around this organization. I don't really know what Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver are plotting on or planning to do, but I do trust these guys, man. I feel like they have a vision for the team. I always speak highly about the front office because I just feel like, they're going to do what's best to help this team uh, produce a winner. Now, obviously, Summer League is a huge deal for us. We signed a couple guys for, the Summer League team. And, some of these guys are undrafted free agents. So I feel like maybe Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver could be looking at our Summer League team, um, checking out guys who may be able to come in and help us out on the active roster. Um, some of these centers that they signed for, the summer league team, you know, could turn out to be some good players and turn out to be some good pickups in which you could bring in and not have to really pay them that much money because they're undrafted free agents, and it could save the Pelicans a lot of money as well. But you can bring in a center that can be very, very productive for us next season. And that's a possibility as well. So, we'll see what happens, man. I'll definitely be tuned in to Summer League. Like I said in the last video, I think Summer League is scheduled to begin on July 9th. So I definitely will be paying attention to the Pelicans Summer League team. But um, what the Pelicans need to do, man, to fix this center problem, man. Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Who do they need to bring in? Do they need to trade some guys to create some cap space? Do they need to bring back Kevon Looney or Deandre Jordan? Let me know what y'all feeling in the comments, man. Um, I right now, man, I really don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Uh, we'll see what happens, man. But like always, man, make sure you like and subscribe to the uh Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, man. The all new Pelicans Flock Report. And as long as y'all keep subscribing, man, I'm gonna keep bringing y'all this content. I'm your host, D. Broussard. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Like always, go Pels. I'm out.